Let me start with my first question to you, which is on the subject of Save Soil. So from saving rivers, water, planting trees, and now this new initiative of Save Soil, your focus has always been to increase the consciousness among people across the globe about the environment we live in. And this time, of course, you plan to do something that is quite unthinkable for people like us. Just the scale of the initiative is so large. Traveling 30,000 kilometers alone from London to India, covering almost 26 countries in 4 months is a tall order, I must say, on a motorcycle. And so I understand that it is important that such an important initiative like Save Soil requires a big effort and to get the desired traction. But my question is not why, but how. So my question is, what made you choose this path? Or should I say that what made you choose this back-breaking journey?
Well, I hope it doesn't break my back. And about this new initiative, it's not a new initiative because, see, people are thinking water, air, soil are different things.
Right.
That's not how nature works. It is one cycle of things. It is probably in 95 or 96, when some UN agencies came and predicted in Tamil Nadu that, by 2025, 60% of Tamil Nadu could become desert.
Right.
I didn't like predictions, so I drove myself to see if this is for real. Then I saw it may not go till 2025, it may happen sooner, because 3 perennial rivers had gone totally dry, and bore wells where we were striking water in 150 to 200 feet beneath the ground were going to 1100, 1200 feet beneath the ground, and palm trees were dropping their crowns. So I saw this is definitely coming, and that's when we started what is called as Project Green Hands, out of which millions of trees have been planted by our volunteers, living trees, because these are not on government lands, these are on farmlands where farmers are taking care of it, and it is an economic process for the farmer. Plus many other organizations and the state government also has planted many more million trees. So as a whole movement, we have increased the green cover significantly in Tamil Nadu. But according to Google Maps, Google Images, it shows somewhere around 10 to 11% increase in green cover has happened since that day.
Wow.
So even then it was about soil, but we spoke about trees, we spoke about farming, and we talked about Rally for Rivers, because we must understand in a tropical country, only in our country, in India, only 4% of river water is from melting ice. 96% is just monsoon rain. When monsoon rain comes, whatever… normally these days monsoon rains are happening anywhere between 70 to 110 days of rainfall in a year. This must flow for 365 days. If it has to flow for 365 days, soil must have a certain amount of organic content, only then it can retain the water and let it go slowly. Otherwise, everything will flow on the surface. This is what is beginning to happen right now. People are always wondering, last time even when the Kerala flood happened, people said, Sadhguru, how is this possible? 2 months ago, there was such a flood, it looked like a deluge, but suddenly there is a drought. I said, these two things are naturally connected.
Right.
See, when the water comes down in the form of rain, it must percolate down into the ground.
Right.
If it is running on the surface, you call it a flood. If it runs off on the surface, within 2 to 3 months, drought is inevitable.
Right.
It is bound to come, because one thing is it's taken off the topsoil, another thing is it's not sunk in where it should be. If we handle the soil properly, we can store 8 times more, that is 800% more water than all the rivers on the planet put together in the soil. That is the capacity of the soil. If we go into a rainforest where organic content may be 60–70%, If you just… any season in the year, like any month of the year, if you just dig with your fingers, not with any implement, just 2-3 inches if you do like this, it'll be damp. So if you do this to your agricultural land, I'm saying if you increase your organic content to 8 to 10%, then your irrigation requirements in the country and in the world will come down by 70%. Only 30% water you can manage the same level of crops. If you increase your organic content to 12 to 15%, you can bring down the irrigation requirement to 10 to 15% of what we are using right now. So, soil, water, air, these are not different things. One thing that most people probably living in urban centers, they don't look at it this way is, see, right now a tree is growing. It is not growing only because of the nutrients from the soil. Most of its growth is because of the carbon capture that it is doing from the atmosphere and the humidity that it's taking from the atmosphere. But it has to make that carbon and put it down into the earth for it to exchange nutrients with the microbial life there. So these are not different things, these are not different initiatives, it's the same initiative, we're just enhancing the scale. What was a local program at one time, we made it national with Rally for Rivers. Now we are in Kaveri calling, transforming a whole river basin which is about 83,000 square kilometers. Based on the success of this Kaveri calling, we have formed a very good partnership or alliance with UN agencies, 2-3 UN important agencies, which is why now we thought we will go global, because when it comes to ecology, national boundaries mean nothing. The life, the microbial life and the biodiversity is not respecting your national boundaries. Earth is earth, soil is soil, it is all connected, so we cannot address ecological situations in terms of nationality or anything that way. Geography is not… only in our minds it's broken, in reality it is not broken.
Yes.
About my back breaking, well, this is also a test for the yogic sciences whether yoga works or not. Well, I'm 65 years of age, I shouldn't be doing anything like this. I could live comfortably by myself, but
No.
I'm doing this because as a generation,
Right.
we are in a cusp of time.
Right.
Right now, if we act, in the next 10 to 15 or 20 years' time,
Right.
we can make a significant turnaround. Still, we are in that place. But let us say we let it pass for another 30 to 40 years. After 40 years, if you try to turn it back, the loss of biodiversity, the way it is happening, most of the FAO scientists are saying on an average, 27,000 species are going extinct per year.
Wow.
At this rate, in 40 years' time, we would have reached a place where if we want to turn around the soil, it will take 150 to 200 years, which will be a disaster for human civilizations on the planet. So, as a generation, we have a responsibility, we need a commitment, and above all, I also see it as a privilege that we as a generation are in a cusp of time, that if we have the necessary commitment and courage to make this happen, we can turn this around. It's not some rocket science, it can be done. But if we allow this to go to the next generation, they will not be able to turn it around because it would have reached that point where turning it around is very difficult. So I'm just trying to do my bit before I'm no good for anything.
No, you'll always be good for something. So…